Hi everyone. So Duress Crew has decided to start making content on Magic Online. And we got a DB account, although I'm not using it right now. But I decided that for my first video, there would be no better deck choice than to show off the Esper or 5-color Psychatog deck that I've been playing recently. So this deck has been in the works for a little while, and it's kind of a merging of the two traditional Psychatog archetypes in Premodern. So the blue-black Psychatog deck is a little more controlling and makes use of just Psychatog as its only threat, with Duress and Counterspell and Circular Logic and stuff to back it up. And then Gro-a-Tog is the more tempo-y build that's playing Mox Diamonds and Quirion Dryads and Meddling Mages and all that. So the idea behind this deck was that Smother isn't great removal in the traditional blue-black Psychatog deck, so getting to play Swords to Plowshares out of the Gro-a-Tog deck is definitely an upside, but Quirion Dryad isn't a very strong card and kind of makes you manipulate your play patterns around it too much. So this is more similar to the Gro-a-Tog deck, but cutting Quirion Dryads. So you're running the traditional Grow things like Mox Diamond and Gush. Um, you have the blue card advantage with accumulated knowledge alongside Gush, and then some foils as additional counter magic and interaction. For the cantrips, just Portent and Impulse, so not overloading on those like you'd see in Dreadnought. Or even some of the Gro-a-Tog builds will play like 8 1-mana cantrips. We get the Great White removal with Plow and some Meddling Mages as disruption, and then Armageddon as our great equalizer against the decks that are really relying on their lands. And then one Fire Ice and one Glory, just to kind of add some spice and top things off. And then the sideboard I've broken down into 3 packages. We have the anti-enchantment cards, so these would traditionally come in against like Dreadnought, Replenish, and Enchantress, and those are Disenchant, Ray of Revelation, and Annul. The anti-red cards, those are Hydroblast and Warmth. For Goblins and Sly and all that, although Warmth doesn't come in versus Goblins. Um, and then the creature pivot package. So usually in the creature matchups, Meddling Mage is not particularly strong, and sometimes Armageddon's also not very good. So you'll cut them and some foils, and then bring in Call of the Herd, Pyroclasm, and one Masticore. And that allows you to transition into being sort of more of the Terrageddon style Mox Diamond aggro deck. So I think that this deck is reasonably well positioned right now. I like a lot of its matchups. It feels like you have a lot of play in most of your games, and I think it's likely what I'm going to be playing for LobsterCon this year. So I've been wanting to give it some runs in leagues, and I've had a couple trophies with it, I think, and a lot of 4-1s. So I'm pretty happy with where the deck's positioned, and I just want to keep playing it and optimizing it in the lead up to LobsterCon this year. So let's hop into a league and see how things will go. Hopping into match 1 here, we are on the play with a hand that I think looks reasonable. I'm going to keep this. Um, Development's a little awkward because we probably want to play the city on turn 1 so that we can plow a thing, or play the plains, either meaning that we can't gush as quickly, or if we find a counterspell that we aren't going to be able to counterspell on curve. Um, but that's okay. We've got this impulse to dig us a little bit deeper towards what we're looking for. And our opponent goes to 6, which is always a good sign. I have to wonder if I'm going to lead off on city or plains. I think I want to lead off with the city. And obviously not knowing what we're up against definitely plays a role in that. Mountain, so definitely good to do something. Yeah, basically whatever we were going to do to lead off. Being able to plow is good. So we obviously want to plow that, and then another gush. Okay. I'm just going to play this Flooded Strand so we can fetch an island and Impulse. So against Sly, Psychatog is usually pretty good game one as a threat. That's going to resolve. They typically struggle to answer a Tog, and it's able to apply a lot of pressure. So with this Impulse, I'm kind of looking for another island for this Gush. Now that we're tapped out, they're given a chance to respond. Yes, they're going to bolt us. So we're going to go to 14. Could take a Plow to answer the Lavamancer. I think I just want to take the island for the Gush. Doesn't feel great taking a land off of the Impulse. Especially when the odds that we're finding another land are so high. But, sorry. We do find the Plow as well. I'm still just going to play out the Tog. I think we need to develop the pressure as much as possible. There's a chance that this just becomes a lightning rod and they throw a bunch of things at it, in which case we are almost certainly able to survive any amount of burn pointed at it due to the Gush. Another Lavamancer, sure. Okay. I think I want to just play the planes. I don't think I want to use this Plow. Redundant Lavamancer is usually not that much of a threat, especially when they're on 3 cards in hand. I want to get in for damage here. Not going to push any extra damage. No burnt spell end of turn. Okay, that's a good sign. Are they just going to attack us? Just one attacks, okay. I'll take it. Fanatic, sure. Accumulated knowledge, okay. Let's start off by gushing. Impulse Mox Diamond, okay. I want to play out the island, play out the Mox Diamond, discard the Flooded Strand. Do I want to cast the AK or the Impulse with my floating mana? What am I specifically looking for? I'm not really sure yet. I think I just want to cycle the AK here. Another island, okay. We'll attack. No blocks, okay. Again, I'm being more aggressive in the race because worst comes to worst, we have a Plow for our own Tog if need be. Also, no attack, no activation from the other Lavamancer is a good sign. Just attack with Lavamancer, interesting. Well, I will take the opportunity to Impulse. If I take double Plow, can I kill them? I don't think so, right? They probably throw this at me, so they'll go to 20. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 9.5, 10.5, or 9.5, 11, 12.5, 14. Oh, I guess I cast this. Yeah, okay, I don't. I still think I'd take Plow here. I also didn't account for the impulse being in my graveyard, I think, when I was doing that math. Hmm. They're tanking in their own end step. I guess I'm tapped down to the point where I have to take damage if I cast a counterspell, so it makes sense that they're thinking. But they haven't done anything for the last couple turns. Haven't played lands. I mean, their hand might just be like multiple fire blasts or ball lightnings or sulfuric vortexes, which is probably a good thing for me. Um, hmm. So if they don't block, I have 3. Card I draw is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 plus. So I have like 16 damage, 17 damage, if my math is correct. No, I have to play a land in order to cast the Gush. Meddling Mage, okay. Let's play Gush. Counterspell, Flooded Strand. Okay. I have 8 cards in hand, which is 12 damage, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, okay, so I was right on it being 17, which is not enough to kill them, so I should play out the mage. What do I think is stuck in their hand? Fire Blast? And then go to combat. Attack. They jump, which is good. Throw it at our face. Yep, so we go to 10. Incinerate my face? Okay. I go to 7. Curse Scroll, that's fine. Do I plow 1 Lavamancer? No. I don't think anything changes. Accumulated knowledge, okay. Just gonna go to combat. Attack with everything, so they need to jump block. Yep. That's all well and good. I go to 5. So there's their third mana, but it's not another mountain, so Fire Blast is super turned off. If I just plow this Lavamancer, in theory I win. How do I get punished? I think we're just gonna go for it. Plow Lavamancer. Activate it. I will go to 3. Nothing. Okay. We're at 16. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I want to... How many lightning bolts have they played? 1 bolt? They can't fire blast me. I can still have Counterspell and Plow up. And foil now. That's huge, actually. Okay. So let's attack. Eat this. Eat this. Eat this. 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 Discard this. Discard this. These two. I guess I need to discard foil anyway. So I discard the island. Discard foil. Brings us to 14. 15. And then is it better to have Plow or Counterspell? I lose to Double Bolt. If I mean, I lose to Double Bolt either way, right? So I want to discard the Plow, I think. Right, so go to damage. I will Counterspell. Sweet, okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. In this matchup, we want Call of the Herds, we want Pyroclasms, we want Hydroblasts, and we want Warmth. I don't think Armageddon's very good. I don't think Foil's very good. Meddling Mage is not great. I think the Glory is kind of too mana intensive. And Trim on an Impulse. Seems fine. Glory is kind of always a card that I've sort of been on the fence on. Main deck, sideboard, if I should run it at all. I've been trying it out in the main deck recently with a reasonable amount of success, but I think that it might be best suited as a sideboard card. I don't love running like bricks in the main deck, sort of like cards that are only relevant if you get if you have Tog in play. And as a plow into Call of the Herd. That's probably good enough to keep. Goblin Cadets. Okay. Huh. How greedy am I? Do I just take 2 so that I can potentially fire ice multiple things? Interesting. I think I am going to be greedy. Or no, I'm not going to. I'm going to be safe. I'm just going to grab planes and plow this. Sure. No second land. Okay. Another plow is a pretty good draw. That means I don't need to play Undiscovered Paradise. I can just play the island, and we can potentially plow this Fanatic. With the Fire Ice in hand, I think I'm okay just doing this, because even if they play out another thing, we have an answer to it. Obviously, best case scenario is we get to hit like a Ball Lightning with this, but they've been missing land drops, so I don't know how likely that is. Firebolt me. Okay. I'm just going to take the chance to get a threat in play and play Call of the Herd. We're not going to be able to flash it back next turn unless we draw Mox Diamond because of the Paradise bouncing. Firebolt me again. Okay. Tog. I think I'm just going to keep playing out threats to try and end the game as fast as possible. So we'll just play the Tog, put them to 19. Then we'll have to do some math next turn. Pyroclasm, sure, that's fine. I'll just play out the Paradise again. Keep attacking. Anytime that they're spending mana to do something other than deal me damage, I'm pretty happy. Especially when we have multiple threats in play. One of the nice things about the Call the Herd sideboard pivot is most of your threats then become pretty Pyroblast resistant. Log Fanatic is fine. Not even going to worry about fire icing it right now. We'll just attack. Does make our Pyroclasm a little bit worse because if we're okay, if they're just chump blocking, then that's fine. Given that we have this impulse to play, I think I'm content fetching, floating 2, and gushing here. We can also flashback call, possibly. Or we could just play another Tog out. Do we even need to, though? I guess it ends the game next turn, probably, right? So we're just like holding them on Have a Blast, or I have lethal. Because we'll get to pick up Undiscovered Paradise and then have another card in hand, so we'll have just a crazy amount of damage on board. Lavamancer, sure. Seal, sure. So this should be lethal. Oh, warmth for good measure. Okay, let me just make sure. So we're playing Paradise. Then we're fire icing their face, so they're going to be at 15. We'll have another card in the graveyard, so that'll be 8. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, this is lethal. Fire 1, 1. Red 1. Perfect. Okay, cool. Nice and clean match 1 win in a matchup that I think is pretty close. Typically, Gro-a-Tog kind of struggles versus Sly, but I think with all of the Call of the Herds and stuff, and like the fire ice and all that, it gets a little better. And post board, obviously, you get to bring in these and this, and then a bunch of blasts too. So see you all in round two. All right, so hopping into round two here. Sorry for the like Dutch angle on my webcam in round one. This hand is great if we draw a land. If we don't, it's horrible. We're on the draw. We don't have one mana cantrips. Glory is kind of already a mulligan. This is like a mulligan, unfortunately. This hand's worse. All right, so we're going to 5. This hand doesn't play magic, so 4. All right, I will keep 2 lands and 2 AKs, and we can unmulligan ourselves, hopefully. They kept 7. All right. Forest, that's not a good sign. Elves, super not a good sign. Survival matchups are typically some of this deck's worst. We need like really, really good luck. Well, Fire Ice is one of the cards that we really need for this to work, so I guess I maybe should have drawn the foil so that we could foil a survival on turn 2 instead of drawing this. Discard because we know that we're hitting the second land anyway. Alright, so Cradle, Wall of Roots, okay. No other follow-up. Alright. So we're drawing the Paradise. I'm just going to play the Island. I'm not going to Fire Ice yet. I want to get maximum value out of this. Okay. Hermit, okay. So we can... Let's see, how do I want to do this? We want to AK another turn, so we'll draw foil. Play the Paradise. Portent myself. Yes. I want to go 1, 2, 3. Make them pay the upkeep cost. Yeah. I'll I guess if I'm killing the Llanowar Elves. Yeah, I will fire Deranged Hermit Llanowar Elves. Red and 1. Floating a mana in their draw step. Is this this thing? Yeah, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. Or Schadenport, interesting. So we can plow the collar of the claw. We're still taking 8 a turn. I'm going to use the mana to AK. And then we get ported. Play this out and pass. And their upkeep. Plow collar of the claw. We need... I don't even know. I don't think we have any outs. Like, I think we're effectively just dead. We don't have any ways of like making multiple creatures to block. Ranger, yeah. Yep. Okay, yeah, we're super dead. We could counter that, but if we had any possible outs, they're gone after that. So I want Masticore. I don't want Armageddons. I want Pyroclasms. I'm assuming that they're on survival, so I'll bring in Ray of Revelation. Cut foil, I think. I mean, I can Meddling Mage on survival. Meddling Mage and Pyroclasm is kind of a non-bow. Do I just want to Call of the Herds instead? Just do this. Yeah, I'll try this. Meddling Mage still feels fine, but I'm not sure. This is a hard matchup to ward in. Like, there's a chance that AK is just not where I want to be. A card advantage is not the game that I'm trying to fight here. Could also see maybe leaving foil in. I think bringing in Annul is probably too aggressive. It's hard because like you lose to survival, but then you don't want to overboard to just answer survival because you also lose to things that aren't survival. Other than like Armageddon is for sure bad. Beyond that, I'm not really. Yeah, this hand seems fine. It's painful, but it plays a Tog, has a Glory, which is good to get through blockers, has a Pyroclasm to clear early boards. Carplucid Forest, okay. Play at the island. Just gonna hold Cycle AK. I'll let them play more into the board before I play out Pyroclasm. Survival. Yes, that unfortunately resolves. Symbiote. That also unfortunately resolves. Makes our Pyroclasm a lot worse. Let's AK for 1. Draw the Counterspell. Turn too late. Play this out. I'm just gonna play the Tog out. We need to like start racing. Which is something we can do potentially with AK. Glory here is really important because Wirewood Symbiote lets them get basically infinite chump blockers. Otherwise, we can wipe it out with the Pyroclasm, but they'll be able to pick some stuff up and potentially find another one. Here comes the first survival activation for Squee, which makes sense. Then presumably Squee gets survivaled. Yep, so Squee goes away. Into Ranger. They're at 16. These Carplucid Forests are doing a little bit of the work for us. Survival away birds. So this is like a more control-y build of elves, it seems. Anger, okay. Relevant that they can't actually activate Create Ranger right now. They don't have a forest. believe they made their land drop. It was the Cradle. Yeah, okay. Granger for next turn. So Anger's also gone. Okay. So we are able to play City, discard Glory, cast Pyroclasm. They'll pick something up here. Probably the Llanowar Elves, but I don't know. Okay. So then these two get wiped. We have a counterspell up for their Granger. They currently can't cast the Granger because this Cradle's turned off. All right, Port, which is pretty good into our cities. Quirion Ranger. If I just counterspell this, they can't then also play the Granger this turn. That seems reasonable enough to me. I think just keeping their board clear is important and doing that however we can. So we only know about the Granger in hand and a Squee that they picked up. I believe this is them survivaling away the Squee. So they're at 12. Can we kill them? We'll find that out on my turn, I think. Because we'll have... Okay, Fintorn Elves. They can't port me. Another Tog, okay. So 1, 2... Then this becomes 2 cards in hand. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't kill them this turn. I should still just AK here. Right, let me make sure my math is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. I want to play out the island so that they can't port me into playing a creature. I think. It's tough because playing out the island gives up a lot of damage. But it lets us hold up Counterspell plus getting ported. I could have just not done it, let them do their thing, and then I have Glory. They're at 10. I'll have 4 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Still gonna let that resolve. I'm gonna let that resolve too. Granger. I think giving their creatures haste is so dangerous. But like we have them dead if we draw any, like Impulse kills them, AK kills them, Gush kills them, Fire Ice kills them. I think I let this resolve. I think we're just playing to try and kill them this turn. In which case, obviously playing this island is a massive mistake. That probably cost me the game. Survival squee. Lesson to learn on the island thing. I should have thought about exactly what we were going to do beforehand, and there's no shot that we were basically ever countering anything with them also porting us. So wait, do they take one? Are we good? Am I crazy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are good. Oh, huh. All right. They took a damage off their paintland. We got bailed out. We'll choose pro green. We'll discard 1, 2, 3, 4. Eat for 5. So 6, 7, 8, and 9. Sweet. Okay. Still think it was wrong to play the island out. Do I want Meddling Mages versus Call of the Herds? I think I still just want to go Call of the Herds and be aggressive. Like, I think we want to go over the top of survival versus trying to fight over survival itself. That doesn't sound super great, but also trying to fight over survival doesn't sound great. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. It can counter a turn 1 or turn 2 survival. Has good draws. Foothills, yep. Presumably some dork. Nothing. Okay, so there's like definitely have a survival or something on turn 2. All right, another land's actually not the worst draw. Lets us guaranteed have Portent plus hold up Counterspell next turn. Wall of Roots, that's fine. With them having Port, am I supposed to not Portent? Or am I supposed to just play Psychatog? I think I want to just hold up Counterspell, be able to counter a survival through them porting me. If they don't do anything I care about, I can AK. It's really tempting to just jam Psychatog there because, again, the pressure is so important. I just feel like it's so likely that they're going to play a survival here, and being able to play out a Tog into a... Well, I'm pretty happy counterspelling that. That's basically a survival. Another land here. Still think I'm just going to do this holding pattern. Again, I can hold up AK and counterspell a thing. Winter Orb. Pretty sure that's fine. No other... Okay. I will cast this AK. So they choose to port me, which is fine. Another Tog. Huh. I think I want to portent myself here. Fire Ice, Impulse, Portent. I mean, yeah, we can end of turn ice their Winter Orb. Sure, I'm cool with this. They get to untap just one land. We draw our ice. Impulse and Portent are my top two cards. I've got to think. Fintorn Elves, that's fine. Nothing else. Okay. Do I want to draw Impulse and Portent? Cantrips are kind of bad into Winter Orb. It's hard because they're like good cards, but yeah, I think I want to fetch a Plains. So if we draw, yeah, I should have kept the Plains untapped actually. Okay, Undiscovered Paradise. Gush, very very good draw. Play out the island, cast Psychatog. Now we've got our pressure down. We still have Counterspell up, although they can port us off Counterspell for a turn. They do also get all their lands untapped, but I think it's better for us than for them because they've had mana for a little while and not really done anything with it. This is like Hermit. I'm gonna Counterspell the Hermit. No follow-up. Okay. We'll untap an island. Do I have lethal? They're at 18. This is 6.5, 7.5, or 6.5. So four cards. They're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I do have lethal. If they don't block, okay. They don't block. All right, I will Gush. Discard. I guess I maybe could have played an island out first, probably, and still had lethal so that I could have Counterspell up for some sort of shenanigans. Although, actually, I have a blue floating in blocks, so there's nothing they can do, right? Because if they have any shenanigans, I can just cast the Counterspell now, and there's nothing they can do before damage. This is in blocks, right? So this card doesn't do anything? They've already declared no blocks. Yeah, that resolves. Yeah, I think they just realized that we were already in blocks. That, that, that. Eat these two. Eat these two. And that makes 18. Whew. All right, that's typically a very brutal matchup that I think we got quite lucky in. And I mean, the Mold of 4 is brutal but we are able to recover, bounce back, and we are 2-0, and I'll see you in the next round. All right, so we are back for round 3 on the draw against an unknown opponent. This hand seems reasonable. The cantrips could be anything, but you know. All right, against Mountain Pass. I like Mox Diamond, ditch this, play this, pass. This typically is like a Goblins type of start. Yeah, Rashad and Port, so it's Goblins. Or it could be maybe Ponza. I have specific things that I'm looking for. Hmm. Do I want Meddling Mage, or do I just want Accumulated Knowledge? I think I just want Accumulated Knowledge. I am fine being ported here. Plow, that's a good draw. So just play out the island. You can start working on the AK value train. Alright, it is Goblins. Matron is okay to resolve. If they find a ringleader, I might impulse for a counterspell instead of casting AKs. War Chief. That I'm fine just plowing, so we'll just do the AK plan. Gonna avoid playing Cities of Brass out into the Rashadan Port as much as I can. War Chief, yup. Pile Driver, okay. Let's respond with Impulse. Interesting. These are all kind of good options. Other than Portent, I suppose. I might just take Psychatog. I was thinking I could do double plow, just plow War Chief, plow Pile Driver, but I think I'd rather have Tog for pressure. So I'll take Tog. Pile Driver resolves. I will plow the Pile Driver. I don't know if I want to fetch, because I like some of the cards that are on the bottom of my library, and I kind of want them back towards the top of my deck. But at the same time, just leaving fetches uncracked is always nice for like portents and stuff. Oh, my opponent is disconnected. Well, oh, they're back immediately. Okay. I think I'm gonna leave this uncracked. I do really want to draw Armageddon, but Undiscovered Paradise. Play that out. Play out Tog. And hold down the fort as long as we can. Hopefully they don't have a bunch more pile drivers. They didn't play them out earlier, so I don't think that they do. A little scary when they have 5 cards in hand, all this mana untapped, and a War Chief in play. Certainly a lot of ways that this could go wrong. Like just taking, there's not really like a super, they lost connection again. All right, interesting. They might be experiencing like the future sight frame bug that I was dealing with a little while ago. Um, hmm. Well, I will edit out stuff until they come back if they end up going AFK for a while, but we will see. Maybe they're just having like internet problems or something. While I have this time though, usually in this matchup, I think that it's unfavored pre-board and possibly even favored post-board. Call of the Herd, Pyroclasm, Hydroblast, and Masticore, all these cards come in, and they do quite a lot to flip the matchup in your favor. Um, yes, they get access to Pyroblasts for Psychatogs, but those are really the only major targets because the Meddling Mages come out and you don't particularly care about things like Gush or Counterspell being Pyroblasted all the time. You're more so just on like a beatdown plan with elephants and stuff to hold down the fort. Pre-board, Psychatog is pretty tough for them to deal with as a creature, which is why I wanted to prioritize getting it into play. Um, they typically struggle to get it off the table. It requires me to have not a stocked graveyard and them to have like multiple jump home incinerators or something like that. Um, and in this scenario where I have the accumulated knowledge, really the only way that they're beating me is by going wide. So I think that I do maybe want to fetch and cast this AK because I want to be able to draw Armageddon to prevent their ability to go wide, and one of the Armageddons is on the bottom of my library. So just shuffling that back in is really important. Um, they've lost connection and rejoined again. Okay, they're back. Another War Chief. Okay. Mog Fanatic. Okay. Not a pile driver, so we're okay on that front. I'm gonna fetch Plains and cast AK. There's an Armageddon, which is very nice. Good pickup. I will cast it, and they're at 21. I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I could, I mean, okay, so they would have to, they played a land last turn, right? Or did they? They didn't. Okay, so they would need to, they can't have both land and pile driver. So think I'm okay to cast Portent here because I can't get got by them having. They would have played pile driver last turn if they could have. Another Psychatog is nice. Lets me start getting aggressive while also leaving one back on defense. I think that I want to keep these no shuffle and just pass. They aren't in the abyss yet, so I'm not going to attack. That meaning they're not dead, so they don't have to. They don't have to jump block. So we'll draw a Portent here. We'll play Paradise. Um, I could just Portent to shuffle away the Gush that I know isn't good, instead of playing the Tog. I think I want to play the Tog, though. Oh, here's the. It gets a little funky whenever you're trying to use City of Brass to cast things. There we go. I don't want to give them a ton of turns to draw back into the game. But like I lose to Pile Driver anyway, so I'm just gonna start attacking them down. Will I have lethal next turn? 6. I'll have 2 more cards in my hand. I don't like that they're fetching here. I think I might just be dead. Pile Driver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I am just dead, right? I am dead to them attacking with everything. Well, I will still make them do it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They're going to see it. All right, I'm dead. Unfortunate. Post sideboard, all these cards come in, and these cards come in. I think that foil is pretty bad here. I think that Meddling Mage is pretty bad here, and I don't think that accumulated knowledge is where I want to be. So this is usually how I board in this matchup. That's tough. I could have held up Plow to play around them having Pile Driver, but they didn't have Pile Driver the 2 turns beforehand. So like they were just playing off the top, and I think it was probably still correct to do what I did. It's always rough keeping a hand that just loses to a turn 1 lackey. I think I'm supposed to mulligan. And wow, is brutal. They mulled a 6. Masticore is really good though. I think I'm gonna just keep on the strength of Masticore. Bottom the plains. They also kept on 6. We're gonna need a lot to go right. Maybe I'm supposed to keep that 7, but it just feels like the odds of them having turn 1 lackey and I don't draw the white source and stuff until the impulse could find me a white source, but maybe I'm playing too scared in not keeping that hand, because then I keep this hand that also just loses to turn 1 lackey. No, they don't have turn 1 lackey, so that's nice. Drew the Armageddon. Okay, so we're playing towards something. It's slow, but we're playing towards it. Turn 2 lackey. Okay. Do I just gush here? No, I think I need to let them play the lackey out, like do their lackey thing, and just hope that I can win with Masticore. Gushing just sets me too far back. Obviously, this is not great either, but yeah, there's Siege King Commander, so we're dead soon. They're just going to hold off and port me instead. Another Armageddon. Okay, am I priced into gushing and trying to find Pyroclasm? Huh. I just don't know if I win this game just playing towards playing Masticore next turn. That's what I'm gonna do though. Does not feel great, but that keep in general did not feel great, and I don't know if I can win on a mull to 5. Maybe like, a fast call hurt or something would be enough, but Goblin King. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Masticore is definitely no longer good enough, so I think I need to Gush. We find Pyroclasm and Plow. Okay. Um, okay. Do I Plow beforehand? Do I Plow this Goblin King, or do I just take the extra damage to hold up Plow after I Pyroclasm? I'm taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I need to just hold up Plow after I Pyroclasm. Yep. I take all the damage. I go to 8. They get a Lackey trigger. They get a Matron. Matron gets, I don't know, Ringleader maybe? War Chief, okay. Um, in my upkeep, I will fetch Plains. Cast Pyroclasm. I go to 6. War Chief. I will plow War Chief. I can play out Masticore. Next turn, Gush get in. Ringleader, okay. They hit Pile Driver Matron. Alright. So upkeep, I will discard. Get in. Draw, float 2, cast Gush. Cast Armageddon. Go to 4. Play a land. Play a Mox. Discard the island. Um, Attack. They found another land. I'm gonna fire this. They have a response. You can't Pyroblast Fire Ice. That's not how that works, if that's what they were thinking. Okay. Tormod's Crypt. Okay. I will discard Psychatog. Cast Impulse. Sure. They find another land. They're going to play Pile Driver. Yep. I will discard the island. I will Pyroclasm your Pile Driver. Attack. Nothing. Discard Call of the Herd. Attack. Whew. Tight game. Tight game. Wow. Okay. Let's see. I think I like everything. I don't think I want to change anything. Obviously, cutting AKs makes Masticore a little bit worse, but a lot of the time it just solos them anyway. There's a world where I could say they're going to bring in naturalizes and stuff, so I should cut Masticore and just like fade that, but this hand has a plow and diamonds. I'm going to keep. Obviously, 2 diamonds, not ideal. You'd probably still just want to have one, but I'll play the island. I'll play 1 diamond out, ditch the City of Brass, and pass. Port, sure. They can port me. Still need some kind of action. Another Mox Diamond is not action. Gushes are live. Call the Herds are live, etc., etc. War Chief is fine. We'll plow War Chief. Portent. This is why I didn't fetch. I debated and thought about it. Gush, Hydroblast, Island. Yes, I like these cards. No. I'm not going to play out any diamonds yet because I want to do stuff with Gush. Ringleader, I will fetch. Islands, Counterspell Ringleader. So we're relying pretty heavily on this Gush to find us stuff. Sort of did. Just all the Moxen in the deck. Portent myself. Portent, Pyroclasm, Plow. Yeah, that's good. Play my land out. Play out Tog. Leave these in hand as I should have probably drawn Plow there as Tog fuel. I'm assuming my Tog is going to get Pyroblasted here. Goblin King, that's fine. Tormod's Crypt is also fine. Port me, sure. I will Portent myself. Look at Hydroblast, Flooded Strand, Pyroclasm, sure. No, I will play the island and pass. I could have attacked there, actually. That was probably a free attack. Just going to clear the way to start attacking. We will draw Hydroblast here. So we're insulated against them having Pyroblast. Start getting in there. There's an argument that I should just eat my graveyard now. Because I have these Mox Diamonds to discard anyway. I can actually get behind that. And I don't have any cards in my graveyard that matter. So I'll just do this to play around Tormod's Crypt. So we get number 6. They go to 18. Next turn, we're drawing Flooded Strand, which is not ideal, but the other two cards were good enough that I wanted to still keep. Seems like they're getting a little flooded out, which is good for us. Port my island, port my other island. Draw the Flooded Strand. I'll just play that out. Still nothing, so we're getting pretty lucky with their draws here. We get double ported. Armageddon. That's pretty good. When they're flooded, Armageddon, they got like likely no relevant spells in hand. We just need to draw one more land or a Gush. War Chief. War Chief is fine. I'm not going to fight over this at all. I get ported. I get ported. There's the land. I should have played Mox Diamond, actually. I'm going to not play around them drawing exactly land plus Pyroblast. I'm just going to get an attack, and I'll eat the cards again. Play around Crypt. Get it for 4. They go to 12. Well, they had the land. Do they also have Pyroblast? They did have land Pyroblast. Wow, alright. So we got punished. Play Mox, stitch the city. I'll just play Pyroclasm. Or do I want to take more damage to get more than like... I think I can take 2 damage here to do more stuff, potentially. Alright, so we got punished for being greedy there. They had land Pyroclasm. Or Pyroblast, I mean. Counterspell. Okay, so that makes me think that I'm okay to just Pyroclasm to answer this. And pass. So we're looking to draw Call of the Herds here, or Togs. There's a call. Green, green, green. They could draw a pile driver here to semi-punish us, but yeah, they're just cracking to get rid of that. There's, okay, Fanatic, not a pile driver. Another counterspell, so we're looking pretty good here. We have them on a 4-turn clock. We have double counterspell held up. port, does not matter. We have only Moxen. Plow, another good draw, insulates us against even more possible things that they could have. Land 4. So they've gotten very flooded this game. Weekend them, and then they hit their next 4 land drops. So I could plow this, but I think just being extra safe. We'll have all 4 Moxen in play. May Trump block. Shoot our face, so we get a 10. Pretty sure they have no outs. I don't think that there's anything that they could have had on their hand and not played previously that beats double counterspell. Matron, just counterspell Matron. Another Pyroblast. Just counterspell again. Cool. All right. So that's a matchup where, again, pre-board, I think it's a little bit tough, but post-board, we get a bunch of really nice tools that allow us to kind of shift our game plan. And we are 3-0. So I'll see you guys in the next match. All right. So we are back for round 4. We are on the draw. This hand has 1 land, triple Gush, and Armageddon. So I don't think I can keep this. This hand is another hand that like needs a land to function, but I think it's a lot better. So I'll keep this hand. It's a little risky, but I don't want to go to 5. So, and like we have with this still 9 islands plus 4 fetch lands in the deck as draws for Gush. Plus, any land that. Okay, Fairy Conclave tapped. So this is probably blue-white control, which is a matchup that gives us a lot of time to get stuff together, but I am just going to get this in here and Meddling Mage Plow before they can counter this. Swords to Plowshares. So this is usually the key to winning this matchup. This is a pretty tough matchup, but if you can get a Meddling Mage down on Plow and get a Meddling Mage down on Wrath of God, you're usually in pretty good shape. Obviously, I'm just assuming that they're on blue-white control based on their first couple draws, their first couple plays, but also drawing 2 Plows, not ideal. After I've just named Plow with Meddling Mage. They could be like some mono blue control deck or something, but typically Fairy Conclave only sees play in blue-white control. We're hoping to fade Mishra's Factory here because that kind of stifles our offense. Also, just having a mage as your only attacker can also be tough into Decree of Justice. Yeah, so there's a Windswept Teeth. Interesting. That's atypical. This could be like a 3-color control deck or something. Is Oath? It is Oath. Okay. I will AK in response. All right, interesting. Just like the Cognivore Oath deck. I'm gonna play out a Tog while I can. Let them Oath into their thing. It's a Spike Weaver. Okay, sure. That's not crazy impressive. Horn of Greed, interesting. Gush plus Horn of Greed is pretty nasty. This draws me like a billion cards. Play this, draw a card. I'm just going to keep letting them get triggers if they want. Off Oath. I should probably attack with Meddling Mage too, actually. Yep. Ravenous Baloth, okay. Sure. So we're both in like a super grindy. We got a bunch of. Okay, so we definitely misevaluated what they were doing, which is one of the downsides of Meddling Mage. We read a little too deep into them playing turn one Fairy Conclave. Glory, okay. That could be relevant. Play a land, draw a card. Let's attack with everything. Sure, activate the Spike Weaver again, got it. I'm not going to Portent here. What are they oathing into still? They have Gaia's Blessings and Time Warps, okay. Sure, sure. So they're doing like the infinite turns oath style thingy. Gush, sure. We might be hard locked by this Spike Weaver, actually. Exploration. This is an extra turn spell. I'm gonna let them play it out, I think. But I'm pretty sure we're just locked. They discard Blessing. They can Oath to shuffle these all back in. The reason we're locked is because they can kill their Spike Weaver, and then um, the next turn that they'll be able to shuffle it back in with the Guy's Blessings. Definitely a bit of falling on my own sword here. We would be probably totally fine if I just had Plow. Another Oath, okay. So that lets them trigger Oath twice, so they can put their Spike Weaver back, trigger Oath, mill over their whole deck, shuffle Spike Weaver back in, and then hit Spike Weaver on the second Oath. Okay. Just gonna attack with one. They will kill their Spike Weaver. Yep. So at this point, we need to find Fire Ice to kill our own Meddling Mage. No, those are not good enough. Also don't want those. Maybe we'll Gush, pick these two up. Oh, I already played my land for the turn. Okay. Is there anything worth Meddling Maging? I could Mage Time Warp. I think I'd rather just AK so I can dig for the Fire Ice. Impulse, okay. So end of turn, I'll discard Glory and Mage to clean up, I think. We'll draw 2 on their upkeep. They are going to have a whole bunch of counterspells and stuff here. So we'll draw Armageddon and an island. Armageddon's actually a relevant card. I didn't think about that. That could maybe do something. So in mill over their deck, Guy's Blessing's going to trigger. They're going to shuffle stuff back in. And then they're going to get Spike Weaver back. Take a look at what they've got. They've got like powder kegs. Okay. Another Gush. Time Warp. I'm saving these counter spells because we need to eventually fight over fire icing our own Meddling Mage. Another Horn of Greed. Yeah, so they're basically just setting up to where they can take an extra turn every single turn. Um, oh, that seems like a mistake. I will totally block here. Um, okay. End of your turn before they untap. I will plow your Spike Weaver. Our odds are slim, but they're not none. We have potential outs. All right, now I don't think we have outs. They gave us a line though. Okay. In this matchup, I think the plows are probably bad. I think that Fire Ice is bad. I think that I like Meddling Mage. I think that I want Disenchant and Ray of Revelation and Annul. And do I just bring in Call the Herd? One Call of the Herd? Or do I just leave in? I'll just leave in like a plow for manlands and stuff. Sand seems too risky to keep. The sand seems fine though. We'll keep bottom a Tog. I'm not going to play the turn 1 Mage. I'm just going to Portent. Foil Glory Meddling Mage. So we can play 2 Mages, and that's... What does that do for us? Mage on Oath, Mage on Plow. Is that good enough? We're not drawing any more lands. I think that I want to shuffle. Okay, land is good. City of Brass, okay. Greens, exploration. Yep. Exploration, and they don't play another land. Interesting. I'm gonna Mage Oath of Druids. So they did upgrade a land. They just opted to not play them that turn. Interesting. Powder Keg. Okay, sure. Play out the diamond. Play out Tog. And attack. We're not in great shape, but no plays. Okay. We've got hardcast foils. That does do something here. There's land 4. Sure. I'll try to foil the Oath. They have Counterspell here. Yep. So they get an Oath in play. Portent myself. Accumulated knowledge, Gush, Portent. I can draw AK. Yeah, I'll keep these like this. Attack. I'll leave Paradise in my hand. They will get their Oath trigger. I will get my draw trigger. They Oath into Spikeweaver. Milling over a whole bunch of cards. This Gaia's Blessing? Nothing. Just a pass. Okay. Cast the AK. Cast the Portent. Accumulated knowledge, Mox Diamond, Rare Revelation. Yes, I would like these cards. 1, 2, 3. No. I will attack to make them use their thing. Yep. Draw AK. Gonna do this end of turn instead of upkeeping. Not sure if there's a reason to, but no attack. Nothing. Okay. I'll try to AK for 2. Are they disenchanting my Mox? No, they're not. Okay. Play the island, float 2 blue, cast Gush. Play the Mox. Discard the island. I will try to Ray of Revelation that, paying 1 and a white. Then I will go to combat and attack. They're at 12, so they need to do the thing. No, they just block like that. Okay, I guess they're making me eat cards first. Sure, that's definitely correct for them to do. Now that they could just pop the Spike Weaver. Yep, that all makes sense. Sorry about that. That naturalize on my Mox Diamond happens. Is this another Oath or a Blessing? Seems like a Blessing. We're through 3 Oaths already, which is good to know. Blessing, targeting Oath, Oath, Oath. That can resolve. Conclave, sure. No effects or anything. Another land, so we're just going to attack, force them to Spike Weaver. Let's see, how many activations do we want to get off before they pop it? Let's do a couple. I'll eat Portent, Flooded Strand, and I'll eat Meddling Mage foil. Is this going to be enough for them to pop it? No. Alright, I will... That's not what I wanted to do. I'll eat Portent, Portent. Get in for 4. 4. Okay, cool. So 4, they were okay with shaking. Good to know. Gosh, okay, that happens. So they have 1 land in hand that we know about. 4 mana. Ravenous Baloth. That's fine. Sure, so I take 1. I'm gonna Gush. Whole bunch of lands. Let's go to combat. Attack. They will block, so we'll discard an island. Eat island Gush. And discard an island. And then they will probably prevent damage. Or just sack it to gain 4. Sack it to gain 4, sure. Impulse is fine. So right now, we're mostly just worried about them having like a plow or um, a powder keg because we have the oath covered with the flashback on Ray of Revelation. We are in a bit of a weird holding pattern here with the Spike Weaver where like I've got to figure out exactly how big I can make it before they want to pop it without, going all in. Is this another Gaia's Blessing? Or is this a natural eyes on my Mox? Or is it a Gaia, an oath? So many options. Seems like it's a blessing. I think they're targeting things. Blessing, targeting Horn of Greed, blessing, Horn of Greed. Yeah, that can resolve. At this point, we're only really caring about keeping our Tog in play. Another Gush. So now we have double protection up. I'm going to eat these two cards. And I'll discard Flooded Strand. Get in for 3. This way we have foil, discard 2 cards, plus counterspell, plus if we draw an island, we have Gush. Activate Conclave, okay. That's fine. Still don't think that this is a race that they're winning. So we haven't seen Mishra's Factories. I don't think the deck plays Mishra's Factory. I think it's just Treetop Village and Fairy Conclave. Armageddon. Armageddon's pretty good. I think I want to cast it. Cast Get In. We've got foil back up. How hard do I protect it? They have 2 cards in hand. It's probably just 2 counterspells. Hmm. I think I'm still gonna do this. Discard land. Paradise. Like, it's not that bad if they counterspell this. Yeah, we get our foil countered and we lose the counter war, but I will eat, get in foil. I'll eat Undiscovered Paradise, Island, and attack for 3. I'm gonna see if we can get 4 in there. Hmm. Okay, so they're probably just debating on cracking Spike Weaver, which they do. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have the setup to kill them next turn. Obviously, they have Fairy Conclave as a blocker potentially, and they could just draw Plow here or something. It's Gush. Gush is pretty good. It's a good start for them for sure. So they have an island in hand and 2 unknown, or 3 unknown. Nothing. Okay. So we got to untap. So we have Counterspell up again. Activating Conclave. They're activating Conclave. Okay. I want to keep land 4 plus get it in my hand, so I'm going to eat the 2 AKs. There's nothing here I want to discard. I'm still just going to hold up Counterspell over deploying another Tog. Horn of Greed. So they didn't have Plow before. I think I'm likely supposed to Counterspell this because if they didn't have an answer to Tog before, they probably still don't have one now. This is like a thwart or something. Forbid with buyback, discarding 2. Okay. So they've got 1 card in hand, 2 cards in hand because they bought back the Forbid. Yep, so their 1 card in hand is Forbid. Okay, well, we have them in theory dead. They have Forbid and 1 Unknown. Does this trigger twice off fetch lands? I don't know. Let's find out. I don't think it does. I think it only triggers literally when you play the land. Yeah, it does. Okay. Cast Armageddon. They found Plow. Oh no, they're just forbidding? Oh, well, they're dead now, right? They just died to. They have 1 card in hand. There's nothing in the format that gets them out of this. Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Wow, this is a grind. Maybe I'm supposed to bring in another Plow because plowing their things they find off Oath is so important. But just answering the Oath is also good, so. I don't think I saw Plow actually in their build cards. Maybe I'm not supposed to have Glory. Or maybe I just want to call up the herd. Because it also contends with manlands. It's bad into Powder Keg and Capsize, which I did see. If they're playing Capsize, they're probably not playing Plow. I should have paid more attention to their build cards. I'll keep this hand. Forest Exploration, yeah. Let's go Islands Pass. Two lands. Oath with Counterspell backup. No, just an Oath. So no Counterspell backup. I'm just going to play out my Tog. I think it's safe. Impulse in response. Okay. Even if they have an Oath, we're probably still okay. Horn of Greed. Okay. Yep. Undiscovered Paradise. Cantrips. Undiscovered Paradise. Cantrips. Furnace. Okay. Gush. Play a land and draw a card. Play a Meddling Mage. Do I want a Meddling Mage or do I want a... I think I want just Meddling Mage. Name Oath of Druids. How much damage can I get in for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not gonna bother. Lands are cards with Horn of Greed, so I think it's just worth too much to... They just tap to pick up their Paradise. Yeah, this is their like card advantage engine here. So there's their 2 lands for turn. They are gonna hit me. Four mana, 5 mana. Is this Time Warp? Time Warp, okay. Yep. There's 1 land. They have another Paradise in hand that I know about. That's 2 lands. They furnace me. This is a blessing, targeting these 3. No, 3 mana, 4 mana. Another Time Warp. Bailoff, sure, that's fine. Armageddon's a very good pickup. I probably should have played the city instead. Gush, Undiscovered Paradise. Land. No, I'm gonna shuffle. I'll attack. No blocks. Okay. Well, they're tapped down a little bit. I'm gonna ray the exploration. This is why I should have played city. Because then I could flashback ray immediately instead of portenting. Pretty big misplay on my part. I have just F6 tier. Attack for 4. Yep. No effects. They should probably crack on my Ray of Revelation. Or are they just time warping? Yep. It's Gush. So resolving this Armageddon seems hard. They definitely just have a million counterspells and stuff in hand. Horn of Greed, number 2. Exploration, number 2. Draw 2 cards. Yep. Yep. They still have 5 mana up to Time Warp again. Another exploration, so they can draw another 2 cards. Yep. They fetch with it on the stack to thin. That all makes sense. They've already used 2 Time Warps. I don't know how many extra turn spells are in this format, but I'm pretty sure Time Warp's the only 5-mana one. No blocks. What's this? Blessing. Their clock is getting very low. Yeah, Blessing resolves. Okay, we finally get to do our thing. They didn't furnace my Rare Revelation, which is interesting. Meddling Mage. Can Meddling Mage Time Warp? Let's play City, draw 2 cards. Do I want to just get the value? Just Ray and Exploration, not Armageddon this turn. I mean, if I tap them out, can I kill them from 14? I think I can. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm 1 short. Oh no, wait, I have the Geddon itself, right? I guess they can sack their Baloth. Gush in response. Okay. Impulse, and they might not have a counterspell. They're digging really aggressively. Was this just resolving? That just resolved. Wow, okay. Do we have lethal for sure now? They're at an effective 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We don't. Okay. I can make them sack their Baloth, though. Attack. Eat. Eat. Discard. 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 Eat. Discard. Eat. So they're at, this is 9, 10, 11. Just gonna go for it. 12, 13. So this is lethal, so they need to sack their Baloth. Yep, so they go to 4 here. They are going to be able to do some rebuilding. They'll get to draw a bunch of cards, play a bunch of lands and stuff. Yeah, so this will draw them 2 cards. They have 3 land drops remaining. They can't Time Warp this turn, notably. They're also down to under a minute on clock. Whew, I think they're scooping it up. That was a grind. Sorry if my commentary was not ideal during that, but this match made me think a lot. This was an interesting deck for my opponent, and I had to think through a lot of things. Sheesh. All right. Wow. Well, we're playing for the trophy next round. Um, wow. I gotta take a break for a sec to think because that was some crazy stuff. But hope y'all stick with me for the trophy round. All right. So we are back for round 5 and the trophy match. We are on the play with a hand that's pretty reliant on this portent, but I'm gonna keep it. This is a greedy hand, but we find the land, we've got Gushes, we've got the Impulse, we've got Mage and Tog, potentially, if we can find the colored sources for them. Excuse me, sorry. These are typically hands that I'm pretty comfortable keeping. Obviously, it looks really bad if this portent doesn't show us any lands, but, you know, we've got draws. Hopefully it's not a deck that puts us under too much pressure if we brick here. If we don't brick and we find the things for turn 2 Meddling Mage, not sure if I want to cast it. It's going to depend on how much information I get on my opponent's first play. Then obviously I don't think I want to Gush on turn 2 unless we find like land and Mox Diamond. So that's kind of perfect. That is just lands. And I think I want to, I guess if I get duressed, hide the fact that I have the colored sources that I need. So my opponent might be like more likely to take the Impulse instead of the Gush or something. But that was pretty much the best case scenario. Maybe we don't need the third land in that portent or the fourth land overall, but Wooded Foothills, okay. Could be Oath, could be Burn, Mountain. Okay, so we're going up against Sly again. So I am just going to play out Meddling Mage, taking the 1 here. And I'm going to name Fireblast, I think, is usually my go-to in this matchup. Obviously, this probably just eats a Lavamancer activation, but that's also fine. We're just looking to clear the way for Tog plus Gushes. Sure, yep, that's okay. Then another one, sure. So not the fastest start from our opponent, which is really good to see. So we can just deploy this Tog down and start getting in and racing. This is the upside about playing a Tog deck as your control deck as opposed to playing like a blue-white control or something. This matchup is just like hopelessly awful for like blue-white control or land still, game 1. But Tog actually lets you present a very fast clock a lot of the time. This is a ball lightning I have to think about if I want to just eat it. I think I probably should just eat it. So that would involve gushing. So we need to get to 7 toughness. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Or do I just take the damage? I think I'm going to eat it. So I'll discard this. Eat this, eat this, 6. There's 7. Block there. Plow is a draw. Not bad. We can start getting aggressive. our ability to actually like win the game is obviously pretty diminished now because we burned that Gush and stuff. But I think like just saving and eating the ball lightning entirely is just worth it. Plus we have another Gush to rebuild afterwards. They still have 4 cards in hand, plus the 2 Lavamancers active, but the Lavamancers are pretty slow compared to Tog attacking them down. Wonder why they're tanking here. Are they like doing the math on if there's any possible way I can kill them? I don't think there's any combination of cards I could have that kills them. They're pretty safe here. They're moving into blocks. Okay, they're just not blocking, which makes sense. Seal of Fire, sure. So the factory build, okay. Attack me with one of them. I'm gonna take a damage to Impulse here. City's like really bad in this matchup, but I'll take the Mox. Okay. Attack. They declare no blocks. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not enough to kill them. I'm just gonna get it my 1 damage and pass. I'll Gush next turn. Can be pretty okay. Second factory. Hopefully they just like attack me with stuff. Yep. They animated the wrong factory. That's a little awkward. That's kind of a classic Moto thing. The factory on the bottom, I think, is the non-newly controlled one. They always stack, so the top one is the newly controlled one. Now is it lethal if they don't block? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15. It is lethal if they don't block? Okay. Yep. I will also gladly eat factories and stuff. Sure. Let's eat 2 cards. Should also pump here. Yep. And then I will discard this Meddling Mage. So we kill off 1 factory. We get to float 2, cast Gush. They're gonna shoot me in response. Shoot my Tog in response. That's interesting. I will discard an island. Seal my Tog. This doesn't seem like a winning line for them. Maybe I'm crazy, but That's just insane. Like, that's like their whole offense to. Do I just let this resolve? I think I just let this resolve. Play out a land, cast the AK with the floating mana, and pass. They've got 2 cards in hand. We can plow down the factory. Yep, another factory. Okay. Plow this factory. We do need to find another threat now. Foil, not going to do it. Okay, we are in a bit of trouble. Maybe their line was correct. Another land. Activate a factory. Yep. Attack with everything. So they're not going to activate a Lavamancer. They have another spell they want to cast. Should just counter that because I want to probably counter anything. Glory, not going to do it. All right, I think we lose this game. Maybe I was supposed to protect my. Could I have protected my Tog? I probably could have protected my Tog all the way there. Curse Scroll. Okay. Yep, they got Curse Scroll online. Okay, I think we're dead. That's really unfortunate. So I don't think we have any outs here. I don't even think Tog does it, right? Because we take two, take two. Yeah, we're just dead. We have no outs. Okay. That sucks. Okay, so bring these in, bring these in, bring these in, bring this in. Cut Armageddon, cut Foil, cut Meddling Mage, cut Glory, cut 1 Impulse. I think Masticore is too slow. I'm gonna have to look back and see. I maybe could have played that better and maybe could have saved my Tog from the Fire Blast. I think I had like 3 cards in hand left still, so I would definitely have been able to. Hmm, interesting. Okay. Well, we got a rebound for post board. I think it does get better post board. They get access to red blasts, obviously, which can kill our Togs, but Call off the Herd is really good. If we can find warmth, obviously that's also really good. They probably bring in like Goblin Cadets or something as well on top of all this. There's also an argument that I should just cut accumulated knowledges and instead play like the glory, the foils, and the impulse. And just say like card advantage is not the battle that I want to fight. Yeah, I'll try that. Well, we're experimenting. That's not how I normally sideboard. I think I normally want to cut foil, but we shall see. We'll see how things turn out. And we're getting testing in anyway, so probably a good idea to switch things up sometimes. All right, so we would like to be on play. This hand does not do anything. This hand does have warmth in it. Needs to draw another land. This is a really risky hand, but I think we're just like, we need to draw another land so bad that I'm going to keep this. Bottom the Counterspell. And we just hope we find another land for warmth. We can even cast this Plow without finding the other land. I'm going to play around them, or not play around them having like Overload or whatever. If they get me with Overload, you know, unfortunately, so be it. I just want to have the Painless Source in play. Jackal Pup. Okay, I'll Plow the Jackal Pup. We hope to knock the top of our deck and draw land. Alright, sick. Better lucky than good. Play the Warmth. Now we sit back behind this for a little while. We can still lose to Curse Scroll, obviously. Or Mishra's Factory. We need to find another land for the Tog. This is just a 10-turn clock. Yep, we need to find another Plow for that. Or the Fire Ice, that also works. Also works, as long as they don't find another factory. If they find another factory, I mean, then we maybe get punished. Sulfuric Vortex. Yeah, okay. No more life gain. Found another land. I think we're just gonna play the Tog out here. They could have Pyroblast. They probably do have Pyroblast based on how things have been going. Not casting at end step. Okay, choosing to untap instead. This seems very good for me. I think that we can win this race. Not positive, but attack, discard Pyroclasm. Discard Call of the Herd. Eat City Swords. Eat Call of the Herd, Pyroclasm. Get in for 5. They go to 14, then they go to 10. I'm going to go to 8, plus potentially more. Seal. Seal's fine. Okay. Attack. Animate their factory. One, two, three, four. So if I ice their factory, I can trip. Then they're at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this line loses to a lot of things. This is hard. No, I think I just let them go to blocks, right? Because I can glory the Seal of Fire. Discard City of Brass. Incinerate my Tog. Discard Glory. Discard Fire Ice. Um, Activate Glory now. I'm not sure if this is right. Pyroblast my Tog. That's really unfortunate. Now I think we lose. Um, that sucks. They go to 6, they attack. They have a Jackal Pup 2. I go to 8, 4. Yeah, if I saved this Fire Ice, we could have killed them actually. I just had Bolt 2. All right, that's unfortunate, but that is going to do it here. We got a 4-1 league. Splitting versus Sly, which is usually kind of a matchup that I like more post board, and we found the warmth, but they just had the double Sulfuric Vortex. Um, so that's unfortunate, but I think that overall I was happy with how the deck performed. I think I maybe misplayed there at the end. I'd have to look back and think on that. Um, I could have just, I mean, I guess in hindsight, just like the Fire Ice still wouldn't have been enough because they had the Lightning Bolt too. Maybe I wasn't supposed to attack. But if they have Pyroblast, yeah, I don't think there might not have been any way that I get out of that. But anyway, thank you all for watching the video. And I hope that this is the start of a bunch of Duress Crew content coming up on Magic Online. So thank you all.